Слева, наверное, белошку выше.
Там бел выше.
Вон там, слева.
Нормально? Готовый вид ехать? Спасибо.
Hello, thank you. Watch your head.
Давай там.
Where are the cosmonauts? The crew members.
Заходим.
Let us enter. Thank you. Have you brought in the mass media guys from Kazakhstan? Yes. We're not just the coal capital, but we're also a spaceport. We would like to welcome you. For the first time in 1962, there was a successful landing of Andrei Nikolaev and Pavel Popovich on our soil. We were also welcoming the first female cosmonaut, Valentina Tereshkova. We also welcomed the first international cruise. I would like to congratulate you on the successful landing. I would like to wish you health, and may the earth always feel soft to you. I would like to give you some souvenirs. You may proceed. First, traditionally, you can give the shepherds clothing. Thank you. This is our traditional clothing. This is the pride of our city. They're holding a piece of coal. Please allow me to present this. Okay, could you please put it on the table? A painting, so you can see what our step looks like from above. Next time you can put a descent module in there,
У нас в Караганде есть карагандинская фабрика, знаете.
This is something for the spacesuit. Could you show it to us, please?
Дома попробуйте.
Yes. Could you show it to us?
Будущим прибытием на Землю.
We would like to say welcome to Earth.
Самое главное результат это
We believe the main result is successful landing.
желаю вам, чтобы вы скорее прошли восстановительный
We would like to wish you the quickest adjustment
профессиональные достижения.
and would like to wish you further successes in your professional career. And this is for you.
Выглядите все таким же бодрым, как на этой матрешке.
These are the traditional nesting dolls, matryoshkas. By Vladimirovich.
Микрофон, Павел Владимирович.
By Vladimirovich.
Прежде всего,
First of all,
в имени экипажа
on behalf of the crew, I would like to
теплую встречу
say thank you very much for such a
за такое внимание.
warm welcome, for all your attention.
Спасибо огромное за такую
Thank you very much for
встречу. Нам
so much attention, such a warm welcome. We
находиться здесь,
are really happy to be here.
святая земля, на которой
This ground is sacred
садятся
in a way because
экипажи.
many crews come here, land after their missions. Thank you very much.
Мы бы хотели преподнести вам
We would like to give you a gift. This is a small sample of our space food. Thank you.
Можно вопрос, Юля?
Can we ask the questions?
есть хороший, есть порох пищевых.
Do you still have it left in you? Yes, definitely.
Ну,
Are you pointing?
да, в общем, очень так скромно.
Well, how was your birthday? We celebrated that in a
Вечером собрался весь.
modest way. In the evening, the entire crew
Поздравили.
got together, but the guys started congratulating me in the morning. Sasha,
Конечно, были подарки.
I had some gifts ready. There were gifts, there were kind words.
Скромнее, чем это.
But yes, it was a lot more modest than it would have been on the ground. Are you planning to fly again?
Космос.
Well,
Пока смогу.
I am ready to fly to space as long as I can.
Если тут не
Yes, I would love to. I intend to, unless the medical specialists fail me or flunk me.
Are you going for a flight to Mars? Today it was experimental.
Oh, I think Mars is a long ways away, and I'd love to go, but we'll see what's in store for us. Maybe Sasha and I will go to Mars together sometime.
Марс, конечно, далеко находится. Я сам готов полететь, но, может быть, с Александром вместе слетать.
Может быть, вкратце расскажете о миссии?
Can you tell us briefly about your mission that you have just completed? Just a few words.
В общем, была такая экспедиция достаточно значимая.
We had a significant mission.
Сейчас остался Федор.
Fyodor is still remaining on board. Fyodor Yurchikhin with his crew are remaining. In a couple of weeks,
Вместо нас на смену придет.
we will be replaced by Sergei Ryazantsev and Oleg Kotov.
Значимый тем, что
Our expedition was significant for the following reason. We were preparing this station. We performed 3 EVAs.
модуля
We were preparing the station for the arrival of a new Russian module. There was a lot of work to be done outside the station. Along with that,
несколько дней назад
several
от станции стыковался корабль японских грузовых,
days ago,
который принимал вот
HTV undocked from the station, and Chris and Karen birthed it
Такая очень плотная
previously, so we had a very busy expedition.
станция пойдет новый.
In a couple of weeks, a new cargo vehicle will be flying to the station, Cygnus.
Конечно,
We had had 3 Progress vehicles arriving. We were
интересная
busy. It was an interesting program. A lot of experiments were performed on the Russian and US segments.
и мы рады, что нам все удалось.
We are glad to have completed most of everything. Yes, there were some intricacies, some details. We wish we could have done some things better, but we have done everything that we were tasked to do.
Нашей работы.
And I think the results of our work will be that
Ну, в начале следующего
early next year,
новый модуль.
a new module will be flying to the station.
Большая подмога в научных исследованиях.
It will provide a lot of help in the science research and to the crew overall. The last question. Is there another question? The very last question.
Были проблемы
Mr. Cassidy, you experienced some EVA issues.
Ну, вы знаете, я
Well, you know, I'm going to answer this.
почему-то всегда
For some reason,
спрашивают,
everybody asks about problems. Oh, you had problems. EC station is enormous, most complex,
что-то не отказывают.
and it cannot be without something going off. Yes, we experienced some problems during the EVA. Chris and Luca,
Они блестяще справились.
they handled it
А проблема,
very well.
конечно, не сделали все, что могли,
Yes, they did not complete
и имеют на это право.
everything they could, but some technical aspects fail. Sometimes we're not allowed to fail.
Мы просто очень быстро возвращались.
There was nothing major. They were just going inside the station very quickly.
So, as you alluded to, Luca's suit had a water leak on the inside, and it was filling up his helmet. But once we noticed it, we very quickly, with the ground team, got back to the airlock and were able to repressurize and get his helmet off safely.
Вы знаете, вы видели, наверное, что в шлеме у Люки началась утечка воды. Как только мы это заметили, мы сразу же очень быстро вернулись обратно на борт Международной космической станции, провели наддув, и все прошло у нас безопасно и успешно. И вот Дэн Хартман хотел бы добавить еще несколько слов, заместитель руководителя программы МКС.
Yes, and we've actually done a lot of troubleshooting of that particular EMU suit on orbit, and have actually brought components home on this very flight that we will take back to Houston and analyze the components. There's a long-term plan as far as getting us back to a normal EVA capability, and in the short term, we're certainly working on the analysis that is required to have us conduct a contingency EVA, and we think we have that well in hand, and we'll be able to do that anytime we need to.
На самом деле мы со своей стороны занимаемся разрешением вопроса, почему эта проблема произошла. Некоторые составные части скафандра EMU были возвращены на этом корабле на Землю, они будут отправлены в Хьюстон для окончательного решения, почему же этот отказ произошел. Сейчас мы работаем над тем, чтобы восстановить возможность выхода в открытый космос в нештатной ситуации, и думаем, что очень скоро мы будем такую возможность уже иметь.
Уважаемые господа, я все-таки предлагаю
Dear
экипажу
ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask to clap right now. Well, Alexander hasn't said a word yet. Oh, the time hasn't come yet, maybe. That's it. That completes all the questions. Let us greet the crew.
Chris Cassidy, Expedition 36. Welcome home, Chris.
Thank you very much.
This was quite a memorable expedition for any number of reasons. When you look back just a few hours ago and undocked from the International Space Station and look back at this big complex that had been your home for a half a year, basically, what were your thoughts as you and your crewmates began the journey home?
Well, initially, I remember thinking it seems just as big on departure as it does on arriving. You know, 6 months ago, as we approached, I looked out the window and thought, wow, that's a big space station. And that was my same impression now, but in sort of a bigger picture, what were my thoughts were. what just happened in those 6 months. It was just a blur and a wonderful experience, and so much happened. And I was trying to think back. We had the cargo vehicles, the spacewalks, both American and U.S., and it just was a really busy time, but very memorable. And to be with the crew of 6 that we had now, and the crew of 6 that I was with in 35, just really blessed with wonderful crewmates. And that's really what it comes down to, is people and who you spend that time up there with. And I was really happy to be up there with all of those guys and gal.
You said throughout, in fact, pre-flight, if not during the course of the increment, that you were looking forward to the Soyuz ride home. It has been affectionately described as the E-ticket. How was it? What were the most memorable milestones on the way down?
Right. So there's a couple big ones. When that first parachute opening comes, and before it gets rehooked, and you're only under one canopy riser, and spinning around like it really is like you're a sock inside of a clothes dryer. That's the best way to describe it. And it lasts maybe 15, 20 seconds until it settles out and you get another parachute riser and you come down straight. That was one big event. And then another really dynamic event was the heat shield jettison. That was a pretty neat thing to see too. And then of course, landing itself, but the interesting thing about landing is you can't see the ground coming up, and you get a sort of a rough idea phone call from, or radio call from the rescue folks, but for about 30 or seconds or so you're going, okay, is it coming now, is it coming now? And so it was just fun. The whole thing was really neat to experience, and that vehicle does amazing things with everything that happens from the moment you undock from the space station till you land. There's a lot going on.
When the hatch opened and cool air began to come into the capsule, beautiful morning out in the steppe of Kazakhstan, what were your thoughts about the efficiency of the recovery operation, but the fact that you were back on Mother Earth?
Yeah, you're right about the efficiency of the recovery operation. I mean, we landed, and literally maybe 2 or 3 minutes, we heard the chief rescue guy on the radio. You could tell he was running, he was huffing and puffing, so he was very close. And then shortly after that, I heard people around the capsule, and I just couldn't believe it, that they were there already. And I guess that's the blessing of nice weather and clear skies and no wind. And then once we got out, it was just really nice to feel a breeze. That's one thing I noticed right away, was a breeze coming across my face, and seeing all the familiar faces, both American and Russian. That was really special too. And then just to reflect back on that I'm actually back on Earth and making my way back towards home, and I'll be there soon. That's an exciting thought to think about as well. So, yeah.
Chris, I often ask the question of crew members who have come back, at a quiet moment, weeks from now, months from now, a year from now, if you sat down and tried to write the history of Expedition 36 and what the space station means and its impact today, how would you describe this complex that you spent a half a year of your life on, trained for years to live and work on, and what it means in the context of research that will benefit mankind back on Earth?
So it's a really complex machine that was assembled all over the world, and the fact that it is working so beautifully now is a true testament to the engineering teams all over the place. I mean, we had a problem with Lucas spacesuit, but that is sort of a one-off event. The vehicle itself performed flawlessly, really. I mean, we had a few nuances and things like this, but the ground teams are able to handle it really well. But as a whole, that vehicle is just really humming along, and that is the technology that we've fine-tuned that really will help us as we go forward in our space program, whether to another planet or whatever is in store, for our big picture, long-term plans of the space agency. In terms of benefiting back on Earth, there's all the experiments that we participated in, both as subjects ourselves and as sort of the eyes and the ears, if you will, of the scientists on the ground. One of my favorites was the dealing with fluid in different size shapes of containers to use all that like a fuel tank, if you will, without pumps. And then for ourselves, when you think about remote areas of the world that can't have access to some of the medical care that we do in large cities or in our own country, it's nice to think about medical care that can reach those places, and some of the experiments that we're doing do exactly that. And I think I hope very soon advanced medical care can get remote to remote locations from some of the experiments and research that's been going on the space station.
Biggest moment of your life the last 6 months?
In the last 6 months, the biggest moment of my life was probably that parachute opening. That was an important event in the 6 months, I think.
Chris, welcome home. Fabulous expedition. All the best.
Товарищ заместитель председателя Государственной комиссии, экипаж Союз ТМА-08 родную землю после завершения.
The crew of Soyuz TMA-08 has arrived to the ground. Pavel Vladimirovich, congratulations. Happy birthday. You look great right after landing. Okay, be careful. Dear crew, let's proceed. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. It will get better and better. Let's go. Let's go, dear relatives.